Safety Teams, a behavioral safety program. Primary purpose. Our primary purpose is to decrease accidents and increase safety. Our secondary purposes are to create safety habits, foster a team mentality, increase housekeeping, open constructive criticism for safety, and have employee involvement in plant safety. Here is the concept. The entire plant is divided into teams. Teams will be competing against each other on a 3-part criteria. Every employee's behavior will directly impact each criteria, and each month the winning team will receive a rotating trophy with a prize and, of course, bragging rights. Competition criteria. Number 1, safety kudos. Employees may fill out a kudos sheet for another employee. Kudos can be anything that is positive safety behaviors. For example, correct PPE, proper die plug pulls, correct lockout tagout, following forklift rules, etc. The employee giving the kudos and the employee receiving the kudos must both sign the kudos sheet. You may not fill out a kudos for anyone on your own team. There is a limit. Only 1 kudos per day on the same item per person. For example, you may only accept and sign 1 kudos for wearing all your PPE that day. Please decline the second and let them know that you already got a kudos for that item. For each kudos everyone on your team receives, your team gets 1 point. Competition criteria. Number 2, near misses. Employees may write near misses for other employees. Near misses are the opposite of kudos. Example, incorrect PPE, not pulling a die plug, incorrect lockout tagout, speeding on a forklift, etc. You may fill out near misses for your own team members. The employee giving the near miss and the employee receiving the near miss must both sign the near miss sheet. The exception is if the employee receiving refuses to sign the near miss, do not confront them. Just put refuse to sign and turn in the near miss. Limit. There is no limit to how many near misses you can give in the same instance, unless environmental. Example, I don't wear my safety glasses, I get a near miss. An hour later, I'm caught again not wearing my safety glasses, I get a near miss. The third instance in the shift must be reported to your supervisor. For each near miss anyone on your team receives, your team gets a negative point. Competition criteria. Number 3, participation. Participation is measured by the amount of kudos, near misses, and hee-hoos, explained momentarily, your team turns in during the month. Each team member on your team must fill out at least 1 kudos, near miss, or hee-ho. If everyone on your team does not fill out at least 1 near miss, kudos, or hee-ho, this category is marked as 0. Once everyone on your team has filled out at least 1, the number of kudos, near misses, and hee-hos turned in by your team will be tallied. Limit? None. For each participation mark anyone on your team receives, your team gets 1 point. Note, If your team member writes a near miss on you, they receive a +1 point for participation, and you receive a -1 point for the near miss, and the points cancel out. The incentive is another team is less likely to catch and write near misses on your team if you are writing them. Competition criteria. HEHOs. HEHO forms are for any health, environmental, housekeeping, or other conditions an employee finds which cannot be linked to any one person directly. For example, smoking in front of the entrance. This would be a health issue. Oil spills could be considered an environmental issue. Cords across the floor as trip hazards could be considered a housekeeping issue. Lack of training on a specific subject could be considered an other category. Limit. You may only write one HEHO per week on the same item. This allows the HEHO to be reported to the department responsible and give them time to correct the issue. HEHOs will not be counted against any one team, but the employee writing the HEHO will earn 1 participation point for their team. Disqualifiers. If your team is caught cheating, your team is disqualified from that month. If your team has a recordable injury, your team is disqualified for that month. Tracking and posting. A locked box will be located outside of HR for kudos, near misses, HEHOs, and comments to be dropped into. Each safety team will have a team board. These will be located between the time clocks in the hallway. Each team will have a signed safety pledge on their safety boards. Every Friday, a graph will be posted under each team showing how many kudos, near misses, and their participation status. By posting the status, team members are able to encourage and motivate each other. The winning team. The winning team is the team with the best score of plus participation points. Please remember, these include HEHOs, kudos, and near misses, plus kudos points, and negative near misses, for a total mathematical score. Announcement. The winning team will be announced in the safety briefings of the first Tuesday of the following month. The prize. The winning team will house the safety trophy for that month. Each member on the winning team receives $25. And of course, bragging rights. Tiebreaker. In the event of a tie, whichever team out of the teams which tied reached the minimum participation of 1 participation point per team member first wins. It's time to practice. Those of you with envelopes, please open them up. We are going to go in numerical order starting at 1 and find out which team wins. So when do we start? Tuesday, October 1st. The teams will be posted on the team boards between the time clocks in the hallway. October will be our first full month of safety teams. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to your human resources. Thank you for participating.